Hey, how you doing? This is Politics with Laura. Politics with Laura. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more. Oh, this is going to be a rough one today. It's going to be really, really rough, but it must be said. What is going on? I'm struggling. It's going to be a rough one. All right. I got some evidence to back up what I'm saying. Now, it's going to come off as a rant, and it's not a rant. And please don't leave. Please do not leave, because either you're going to agree with me, either you're going to be offended and pissed off, or you're going to say, I didn't look at it in that manner. Okay. I live in a sanctuary city, and my smoke alarm has been going off. Now, the previous crew, the maintenance crew, were all Americans, and they fired every single one of them. And every last person who they hired are Latino, and several of them are from Venezuela, and they do not speak English. Figure that one. I thought the criteria of getting a job in the United States of America was at least the bare bone minimum speaking English. They spoke zero English. And I hear a beep, and they fixed it three times. 3 times they fixed it. And you hear that beep. So when I go down to the office saying, hey, I still got this beep, it's still beeping. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. When people come, okay, it all started. I was walking to the store and saw my girlfriend, and you hear it? I saw one of my girlfriends, one of my friends, and there were a bunch of Latinos that were on scooters. They deliver food. They were on scooters, and I guess they were there waiting until somebody say, hey, you got a delivery to go get. And they were on these cute scooters, very cute. My friend went over to go talk to them to see what kind of food they were eating, because somebody opened up their trunk, giving out food. And so she was like, what kind of food is that? And they're like, I don't speak English. However he said it. I'm like, oh God. Hey, Laura. I'm like, nope, you're on your own, lady. I hate it with a passion. But anyway, she drags me over there, and I always wanted to know how much were those bikes. I wasn't thinking about the food. I said, I just told her, it's Venezuelan food. That's what he said. How much did you pay for that bike? The one guy understood very little what I said, and he basically said $2,000. I said, where did you get $2,000 from? And he looked at me, said, I paid for it. I said, where are you from? He said, Venezuela. I'm speaking to him in Spanish. And I said, how long have you been here? He said, 3 months. I said, no, No. Muriel Bowser gave you that money to buy that bike. He said, I paid for it. No. Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC, gave you that money. She has been giving taxpayer money to illegal immigrants. It's not only Venezuelans. You got El Salvadorians, Nicaraguans, Mexicans, Honduras. You have them all. And deviate for a second. The main guy that speaks a little English is from El Salvador. So you could imagine how the communication in this building, because there are very few Spanish speakers that are here, very few that live here. Everybody else speaks English. So you could just imagine the communication gap, pulling out your phone, going to Google Translator. I mean, you can't make this sugar honey iced tea up. You can't. But I'm going to put it to you where it is. Some of you going to get pissed. It's cheap labor. They don't want to pay American people the amount of money in order to have a decent life, period. Period. Why not bring people here? And I have articles backing up what I'm saying. And I got it from the country. I got it from Venezuela. So it's not like that I'm making this up out of the air. No. We got the non-competitive people. That's what Venezuela calls them. They call them non-competitive people. We got them. We got them. I had it translated. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show it to you. And then we're going to go through this. Now, some of you going to get pissed. It's okay. You can get pissed all you want. But it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to bring this one up. Okay, now it wants to act a little strange. Okay, here. This is one that didn't go back to the Spanish translation, but here, this right here is from Venezuela. As you can see right here, Venezuela, world news, economy. They will put Venezuela to work in New York. Now, this right here is Governor Hochul. Okay. There are, oh no. I hate all these ads. You got to stop with all these ads. There are 18,000 jobs for migrants with permits. Now, keep in mind, we have people that that need jobs, that want jobs, but cannot get jobs. Tyson Food fired 35,000 Americans, whether if you're naturalized citizens, whether if you're natural born, or whether if you came here with a green card, you came here legally, you all got fired. Then they turn around and hire 53,000 illegal immigrants. Yes. Oh yeah, you're gonna be upset, but don't get upset with me. I'm just simply letting you know what's going on. You ought to say, "Hey, Laura, thank you." Don't be giving me all that hate stuff. Don't leave no hate comments. Save it for Hochul. Save it for Joe Biden. Okay, here. These ads just don't want to go. So here, this right here is. You see it right here. Look. Governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, announced this Monday that more than 18,000 available jobs have been identified in various areas, from technology to agriculture, with more than 400 employers willing to hire the migrants have obtained their work permit in the United States. Okay, now how comes those jobs are not going to people that are applying for them? Why are they only set aside only for these individuals here? Those 18,000 people. 400 employers are going to absorb 18,000 immigrants. Not 18,000 citizens, but 18,000 immigrants. But it goes on. Okay, on October 24th, Hochul ordered the State Department or the Department of Labor to study with employers that vacant positions could be filled by migrant workers and thus help them leave shelters in which they have been housed arriving in New York. Quite interesting, don't you think? Make sure this is okay. The feed is excellent. Okay. Feed is excellent. Okay. Okay, that's working. All right. I'm sorry. I just had to make sure that the feed was right. Okay, so she does this study. Hochul is not the only one doing this. Several governors are doing exactly what she's doing. Okay, on October 21st, the administration of the President Joe Biden responds that it will give work permits to Venezuelan migrants, which will have a great impact in New York, where more than 100,000 undocumented migrants who arrived in the last year. A large part of the country. Come on. Oh no, why are you doing this? This is not good. Okay, wait a minute. Oh man, Nala wants to mess up. But you see the Biden administration is doing this. You see it. So it's just not people like me just coming up with stuff, just coming up with stuff flying, just flying out of whatever. No, this right here is most definitely a political effort. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. Okay, the migrants came here to work. So we are going to put them to work, not like that we don't have people losing their homes because they lost their jobs and they're homeless, but you have people that moved, that just decided, I'm going to get up, take a bag, put on my flip-flops, get on a bus and go to the United States. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to go through immigration. No, I'm just going to get on the bus and I'm just going to come here and just simply do it in that manner. That's what you got going on. So right now we have a migration crisis and a labor crisis by connecting employable people to work jobs and opportunities to New York, and we can resolve both to ensure a better future for all New Yorkers, he said. I don't see how that's going to work out. I truly don't see how that's going to work out at all. No, it isn't. Let's see, let me let that one go. Okay, that's not going to work at all. But this is what Venezuela did. I thought it was quite interesting that Venezuela took this route. Now, what they did was they did research and they put this in their newspaper. So they're letting people know exactly where to go within the United States. Here, it says salaries needed in each state. Come on. Okay, in each state for a single person to live comfortably. And they give a complete breakdown. The Go banking rates. A firm analyzed how much a single person without children needs to live with dignity in each of the states that makes up the United States. You can't make this stuff up. And for the study, The personal finance a site monitored an annual living expense. Let me just jump on down here, and it gets to each state. Look, Mississippi, you need $45,000 to live comfortable, a single person. Oklahoma, 46,000. Alabama, 47,000. And it goes on down the list. Tennessee, 48,000. Ohio, 50,000. New Mexico, 51,000. North Carolina. But as it gets here, Florida, 57. Virginia. But it seems like everyone wants to pack into New York City. California, 73,000, 80,000. I didn't see DC because there's a lot of people here in DC. Where is DC? I do not see it. But this right here is in Venezuela. They're putting this in the paper. So when people come, they already have an idea of where they're going to go. And Chicago was putting people, was putting people in homeless shelters. I'm sorry. Well, first, it was a 5-star hotel, putting them in hotels for about a year. People coming and going, trying to get a job, can't speak the language, none of those things. And I even had people tell me, a young couple from Venezuela last year said that their children were going to go to school, and then their children were going to teach them English. And I'm like, that is butt backwards. Why are you relying on your children to teach you? You're supposed to teach your children, not your children teach you. You need to get out there and go find that. But you know you couldn't speak English before you came here. You knew it. But that was a salary. Oh, man, it's just a mess. It is a complete mess. But here's, let me see, make sure it's translated. But here's the telling part. I want to spend a little extra time on this because we need to have a full understanding of what we are getting, okay? And this right here, again, is coming from Venezuela. Politics with Laura didn't make this up, so don't be giving me no hate, nothing. All right? If it's anything, you need to go down to the Venezuelan government and you go let them know that. All right, here. And I spoke briefly about competitiveness. Venezuela occupies last place in ranking of economic competitiveness. The people are not competitive. They are not competitive as far as getting education. They're not competitive within the workforce. They're not competitive in any of those things. That's why when I was talking to those Venezuelans out there, the first thing what they did was they lied to me and said that they came up here, they had money. No one leaves their country when they're rich. They only go on vacation. And that's exactly what I told them. No, poor people leave. Poor people who did not exhaust their opportunities in their country. Okay? They didn't exhaust them. They go. And then the United States, before I even get into that article, then the United States is responsible for the food, clothing, shelter, medical, dental, optical. The United States is responsible for these people that come here that that were not competitive in their country, so they come here and get everything given to them. And then when I asked them, they lie to me and say, well, I bought this scooter. No, you did not. The mayor bought it for you. Don't lie. But back to the article. Now you see it right here. Venezuela occupies last place ranking. This is the world. The entire world. Here, Venezuela, according to the International Institute of Management Development, is in a worrisome position in the global panorama of economic competitiveness. These are the people that we're getting, the non-competitive people. In the recent World Competitiveness Ranking in 2023, which evaluated 64 countries in terms of their ability to create and maintain a business-friendly environment. These people are not coming to build businesses. These people are not coming to enhance. No, they're coming to just simply work. And they tell you, I just want to work. But in your country, you need to get an education to get a decent job for your family. That's not what you want to do. You, okay. Last place. But I'm going to be called mean and a racist and everything else. This is what they're saying. The report revealed that the key category, such as economic performance, infrastructure, governance, efficiency, Venezuela is in the 63rd and 64th, reflecting the critical situation in multiple areas, fundamentals of development and national competitiveness, published by the Media Banca in Business. In particular, in business efficiency, and it goes on. And the position is not new for the country because in 2019 to 2023, it has consistently oscillated between the bottom of the list. This persistent situation raises serious concerns about the country's ability to compete globally, and more importantly, to provide a favorable environment in the economical growth and investment. And it goes on. And it goes, it stops there. But here it says Cadena highlights the competitiveness is not a decree, and in the environment plays a crucial role in a business success. Of course it does. If you have a group of people, who are not competitive. Look, the United States, we are a competitive people. We compete in all factions of life. We compete in education. We compete in jobs. If you have if you're in a classroom, you're competing for grades. Not all, but most of us do. Now, you're going to have your rich, you're going to have your middle class, you're going to have your poor. But imagine an entire country that the people are not competitive. The wild part is they'll bust their butt here, but they won't do it in their own homeland. You can't make that up. You can't. You can't. Not at all. You cannot make that up. But if you ever get a chance, check this out. It's called redozone.com. It has the world's newspapers all over the world. This is where I get my news from. Redozone.com. Just check it out. So I found that there, and I just had to share it. I just had to share it because me having that conversation with those people, young people, and what really got me, this really got me. One of the guys had to take his girlfriend with him because she was too afraid that he was going to cheat on her. I was done. I was done. So she's on a scooter with him while he's out making deliveries. Now, if that's the case, she need to be out there working. You don't need to be concerned with, no, you came up here with him. Okay, so if you came up here with him, then you need to be working too. You don't need to be on his scooter making deliveries with him because you don't trust him. That is your issue. Right here, capitalism is about dollars and cents, not about all that other stuff. That other stuff, you go at home and you argue and fight it out. But I just had to share that. Our governors are replacing us. Now, okay, let's go ahead and go there. You got a certain segment of people in this country who are afraid of the great replacement. And then you're looking at Black Americans. Okay. You're not looking in the right direction. You're not. Oh, okay. Okay. Just something to think about. But this was a hard one. This video is going to offend some people. Most definitely going to be offended, because if it applies to you, it's going to hit you. If it doesn't apply to you and you didn't know about it, you're like, well, I didn't know about it. Okay. And then others are going to say, well, wow, okay, I knew that. And at least now I know that, at least now I know it's a governmental thing. The governments are making deals with each other. And that's exactly what it is. You have these Democratic government, you have Joe Biden that are making deals with other countries to bring people in so they can have, and forgive me for saying, but a cheaper labor force. You have people that are non-competitive and they're not going to rock the boat. They're going to go along to get along. They're going to vote Democrat and they're going to be happy with where they are. Yeah, a drink. Sprite. Sorry. They're going to go along to get along. They're not going to rock the boat. Whatever the Democrat says, they will go along with, because they're giving them food, clothing, and shelter. Now, here's the interesting part. And this is why I was like, you're lying. This is why I said you're lying. Their whole lives are subsidized by the government. I'll say it again. Their whole lives are subsidized by the government. I've said in several videos, when people come here illegally, the first thing what they get is an ID, food stamps, Medicaid card, a driver's license, and they give them an ATM card with some money on it. Now, even before you get there, NATO already gives you that $5,000 to, okay, and a voter registration card. Now you don't even have to be a citizen of this country to vote, when in the Constitution, you have to be a citizen to vote. Now you can sit here and say, that only applies to you Black folks. Excuse me, white folks. It applies to you too. Okay? They're going to be taking your jobs, and not even taking, you're going to be pushed out. Matter of fact, like I said earlier, Purdue fired 35,000 people that were packing food. Okay? And many people have jobs like that, and you have a decent living to where you can raise your family and you can have a decent living. But they fired 35,000 people and then replaced them with 53,000 illegal aliens, and hired what? 15 15,000 more and pay them cheaper. And the article said 400 employers, 400 companies are absorbing 18,000 people. Now, those 18,000 jobs, how many Americans lost their jobs? And Joe Biden saying that there are jobs out there. The jobs aren't for Americans. The jobs are for illegal aliens. But on that note, please like, subscribe. If you want to donate, please do so. Right down here on the screen, right down here. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Politics with Laura. Help me out. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.